Okay.
Recording in progress.
All right. So, hi.
Hello.
Today we have a young, fun, and a very well-known YouTube creative, Jonathan Singh Zima. How are you today?
Woo!
So, for those who don't know you formally, where did you come up with your name, Singh Zima?
So I told this story on my channel. So what happened was I had a friend who I called Chatty Cat Daddy all the time, and he didn't like it. This was in like grade 7, grade 8. And then when I was walking past his friend group at lunch, they were listening to the Beanie Man song, Singh Zimma. So then they just called me Singh Zima from them time, and it stuck. There's no like super deep story behind it. That's just what it was. And yeah, big up Chad wherever he is in life right now.
A lot of people, like myself, might know you from long before in high school, through your Snapchat actually. What inspired you during your high school tenure to transition from Snapchat to YouTube?
It wasn't a transition from one platform to the next. At the time when I just started, I kind of always just did both, but it was mainly Snapchat because Snapchat was just me showing my daily life, doing foolishness, and then I kind of just wanted to take it up a notch and put more creative energy into something. So YouTube was just a way for me to do more, explore more, try and do different things with the same things that I was doing on Snapchat. So yeah, it wasn't really a transition from X to X. It was just more everything in one. You know, whichever part of it you like, you tune into that.
That's a nice answer. And back in high school, did you see yourself pursuing YouTube as something that the way that you do now, something that you do consistently?
I don't think so. I mean, even though I don't see myself like as this, because I take life one day at a time. So whatever I feel to do, I do. So if I decide to not do YouTube anymore, I just won't do it anymore because that's what I'm comfortable with. But in high school, no, I never saw myself as a full-time YouTuber. I just know I wanted to be rich, and I know I wanted to be famous. So YouTube is just one of those stepping stones to get there. You know.
Right. So tell me a little bit more about your YouTube journey. You started back in 2016, but only around 2019 did you really start consistently producing content. What pushed you to what pushed you to continue pursuing YouTube?
Honestly, I put down the channel because I just wasn't interested anymore, and like it was the final years of school, so I was just taking it a bit more serious. Some personal reasons in my life also led me to step back from it. But when I started back, I didn't even want to start back. My brother said he wanted to make a YouTube video because I don't remember why. He just said he wanted to do a video with me. So I put him on camera, and the first video that he saw when I get back was with him. And then we just did some stuff, and then I did another one the next week, then the next week, and then it just became a consistent thing. So I didn't premeditate and say, yo, I have to start back and be consistent. It just kind of happened and it naturally fell into place. As I said, I take life one day at a time. So it just naturally happened.
And since then, how would you say your content has evolved in terms of filming as well as sourcing like information or content ideas over the years? What is your setup like now? And just how you go about creating content in general?
I think it's a constant evolution. You can never stay at the same place for too long, right? So I started off with just my phone at the time. Then I got I had a smaller one, but I got this small ring light. And then eventually I got a bigger ring light. Then I had to upgrade my phone. Then I had to buy a camera. Then if you have a camera, you need a laptop to edit and then more. So for me personally, it was just an evolution type thing, one step at a time until I got to where I wanted to get to. I'm still not there yet, but I am learning as I go along. And I feel like constant learning and evolution is key, because even finding YouTube ideas, a lot of, like in the initial stages, it was just whatever I thought was cool, and it still is whatever I think is cool, but I have to think a bit more outside of the box for my viewers. You know, like I have to figure out how is it that I can bring my ideas across so that it's entertaining to them, you know? So it's a balance, and then it's also like you have to invest in yourself all the time. And I always believe in constant investment in yourself. Like most of the money I've made off of YouTube went back to filming something or props or like equipment that I needed. So it's just evolution, I feel like, to make it better.
So I want you to think back to what would have been your most popular video or your first most popular video. How did you feel when that video first gained popularity, and how did you handle it? And did you find it overwhelming at the time? And do you still find like grappling with this newfound like success from having so many subscribers and so on? Is it overwhelming now?
It's really not. The first hit video that I had was with the triplets. Where I did a public interview that was like, yo, who's the cutest triplet? Because it's three of them, they look the same. So obviously, you know, they cannot really be a cuter one. But it was vibes. But they got the bulk of the attention from that video, because obviously I'm not the triplets. But even after that, my most popular videos include other people. So there's not really much attention on me. And I mean, even having the subscribers, it doesn't bother me, because I'm used to people approaching me from before YouTube days and saying, you know, hey, Sing, what's up? I like your Snapchat, da 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 da. So there's not really much of a difference now. It's just that no, there's more corporate attention. So I have to be careful, and like I have to interact with different types of people. But it feels normal to me. I don't know about anybody else, but to me it feels normal, because I'm doing what I normally do. It's just more numbers at the end of the day, but it doesn't affect me personally in any way. I still love my subscribers and I appreciate them, but you know, it doesn't change my day-to-day activities or how I feel about the universe or the world.
And I love how you brought up corporate Jamaica, because it goes straight into my next question. You know, with a lot of popularity comes, you know, greater opportunities. And if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, your first corporate Jamaica experience was with Flow. Could you talk about that for a bit?
It wasn't my first, but it was one of the bigger ones where I was representing a company publicly. But again, I maintained professionalism throughout my life, so it felt kind of second nature to me. My mom is a corporate professional woman. I've helped her with events before. I've done things for her in the past. So for me to go on stage and represent a company wasn't it didn't feel very different, because I was just being myself at the end of the day, and they allowed me to be myself. So it was good vibes. Yeah, I feel like if I have to change myself to please a company, I don't want to work with them. You know, and what they were requesting from me wasn't anything out of the ordinary, anything that I wasn't comfortable with. So it was good vibes.
So would you say that you're interested in working with corporate Jamaica more often or in the future?
Yeah, I mean, if corporate Jamaica want to link up, which they should link up. But again, I'm not going to overextend myself if I'm not comfortable with doing it. So there have been companies that have hit me up in the past, and I'm just like, yo, I don't want to work with you because of whatever reason, or whatever they're asking of me is just not fitting for what I want to give, you know? I oh, you're breaking up, freeze, check. Oh, it's just you. So yeah, I like to be myself, and I don't like to change for anybody or anything. I mean, growth is necessary, but I don't want to go out of that space. I don't know if that makes any sense. But corporate Jamaica hit me up. I'm down. You know what I'm saying? For anything, out of the box ideas and stuff. But yeah.
So how were you able to connect with these brands in the first place? Were you under any management, or is it just a solo, true entrepreneur kind of style?
As in terms of getting to connect with the brands,
Yes.
I think it's just getting to know more people and putting yourself out there. Because obviously, if I didn't have my YouTube channel, then they probably wouldn't know about me. Or like even Perry. Perry was a big influence too, because he's helped me work with brands sometimes. And like if I get a proposal, email or whatever, I send him and he'll like check it and say, yo, this don't make no sense, or this makes sense, or just this. So he's been a big help with that. But personally, I've even now I'm still reaching out. So I send emails to brands I'd like to work with, both locally and internationally. So you have to reach out, you have to put yourself out there, you have to push for it to happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, right now, I'm not doing a lot of brand stuff, but I know that in the future, maybe I'll be doing a lot more because, I'm putting in the work now to reap the benefits later on.
Do you see yourself as like do you see yourself as an entrepreneur?
It depends on the day. It's like some days I feel like a college student. Some days I feel like a bum just chilling. Some days I feel like a YouTuber. And then some days I feel like the richest entrepreneur in the universe. You know what I'm saying? So it really depends on the day. Some days I really do have extreme business stuff that I have to do, and it just take up like my whole day or like a couple of days. So on those days I do feel like an entrepreneur, but I don't think I'm at the stage yet where I would be like in my Instagram bio entrepreneur just because I own something that's making money. I feel like being an entrepreneur is way more than that. So yeah.
Well, I would like to just like put my hats off to you in a way because as a young adult, right, you
Mm-hmm.
ventured into this entrepreneurial route somehow and you've been
Mm-hmm.
able to create a brand for yourself, right?
Yeah.
You've made a channel that's just one form of income, but I
Mm-hmm.
believe you also sell merchandise or just like general
Yeah, I
fashion.
have a brand. It's right here, Singh Zimma Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It started off as a promotional thing, and then it sort of evolved into merch, clothing, brand, bikinis, swim trunks, hats, like the whole 9 yards. Even that's a constant evolution. Again, similar to the YouTube thing. Like what you see now is not what you're going to see in the next month or month and a half. So it's just growth and business and stuff.
So looking at the Sing Zima entertainment, do you see
Mhm,
yourself using this as something to propel yourself in the future? You say you're a college student. What are you
mhm.
studying even?
Computer science. So what I'm doing now, like business wise or YouTube wise, has nothing to do with my degree. So yeah, but I study computer science.
Do you see yourself merging the two in the future to probably reach a bigger audience or just to, utilize the following that you
As
have
in
now,
the brand and the channel, or
the brand?
I mean, yeah, because at the end of the day, I want the brand to stand on its own outside of me, right? I don't want it to be reliant on me or my success or my growth on YouTube for it to grow in itself, which is what I'm saying, like in the next month and a half. So the brand now should be able to propel me, and I should be able to propel the brand, and we work in unison to grow each other in a way. So yeah, that's the objective for that. I really want it to stand on its own, and I really want a team to work with to do that while I do my thing over here. It should just be me.
So going along this entrepreneurial concept, if you will, we
Mhm,
always hear the term of people saying, you need to go beyond that 9 to 5 and find things or find passions that you're interested in and just,
mhm.
work in them also. What advice do you have for those looking to be entrepreneurs or looking to just venture out into their hobbies, especially younger people or the younger generation? What advice do you have for them?
Okay, so my philosophy is, especially when you're young, a lot of young people feel like you can just get up and start a business and you get money and you're rich and you can live off of that. I think you should do what you hate, the 9 to 5, whatever, so you can invest in what you love, right? So, for example, like the whole YouTube, it's not cheap to buy a camera or another phone for videoing or ring lights, and you cannot, you may not be making the amount of money to afford those things when you just start. But if you have a job that can afford you to get the things that you need to get what you want to get started, and then when it grows beyond the income that you're earning from that job, then you stop the job. Then you can invest more into your craft. Then, you know, there has to be balance in life. I feel like a lot of young people are against the 9 to 5 idea, but they're not doing much to get themselves out of the situation. Like if you have to do a 9 to 5, do a 9 to 5. I'm not doing a 9 to 5, but that's because I put in the work when I was younger to not be able to do it now. You know, but not a lot of people did what I did. So if you have to work for a little bit, if you have to ask your parents or so, just do what you have to do and then invest in what you love after. And then when that passion grows to a point where it surpasses your regular income, then you can go all in. Then you can decide, your 9 to 5 thing is not for me. You know? So my advice, get some money in your pockets before you jump off and say, yo, you want to be a business person. Like you need money to do business. That's just how it works. So yeah.
All right. Going back to a video you made back in 2019. So it's a while back.
Long time.
You had a video, I think it was titled "What is Success?" And you were basically answering some questions that you had asked your Instagram followers about relating to their fears, and you gave some, motivational tips as well. You spoke about goal setting and what success meant to you. So going back to that time, you said success in your eyes was being able to, positively impact other people as well as, entertain them. Do you think that at this point in time that you're still successful, or if not more successful than you've been before?
I'm glad you asked that question, and it was kind of puzzling my brain because it's like, Jano, that was a long time ago. But I feel like everything in life is an evolution. Success at the time was impacting people positively, which I'm doing now to an extreme extent because I have like a lot of subscribers. So I know that they're watching me, and I know that there have been so many people who have come to me and they're like, yo, if it wasn't for you, bro, I would probably be depressed right now whenever I'm sad. So I know that my success at the time is achieved now. But now success is something completely different. Even though I still want to do that, there's just more that adds on to it. There's more that adds on to it. But a lot of people need to find happiness in the now and success in the now and appreciate where they are at the moment. A lot of people try to look to the future for happiness, and I don't think that's very healthy because you'll be in this constant race to try and figure out what the next meaning of success to you is. So finding success and happiness in what you're doing now, I think, has been key for me and my growth. And that's what I would recommend to people. Like, I know things maybe down now, but you will probably have it way better than most people. Like some people probably bought and said them crashed their car yesterday, but really and truly, not everybody has a car, much less to have one. Just it's an extreme example, but just to put it out there. So find happiness in now and find success in now. Still have your goals and objectives, but now is very important.
So always be in the now.
No,
right?
present, very, very present.
Yeah. So looking into the present, looking at your YouTube channel or like looking at your growth, you say that you're happy, right? Was there ever a point in time where you were demotivated or unmotivated to progress with YouTube, or just feel
all the time, up to 2 days ago,
by the work that you have to put into it?
It's not really the work. It's more of a mind thing. If I make a video I don't like, or if I'm not feeling a video and I still edit it and post it, I'm going to feel bad within myself posting it. Like a couple of days ago, I wasn't feeling too hot, so I took a break. I'm on a break right now. I haven't posted in a week and like 2-3 days, but that's because I'm just not, my mental isn't there yet. So along the road, there are a lot of times where it's just like, I can't bother this YouTube thing. Let me quit. But I know what I want, and those low moments always lead to some of my highest moments. And success is always just 2 meters down the way. You see me, a lot of people run and then stop right before success is about to hit them. So I've decided that I'm not going to stop until I get to where I want to get to. So yeah, there are going to be dips, and then you're going to have to climb up some hills, but the climb is worth it. The climb is always worth it.
All right, and over the past decade, right, the Jamaican market in terms of media, digital media, it has definitely evolved. We're seeing a rise in various different forms of content being produced, and some being similar to yours. How do you, as a part of the newer generation or the younger generation of Jamaican YouTubers, keep your audience engaged as well as grow your channel?
It's just doing and trying new things. And not everything is going to work. So I always try to think outside of the box. And even if there's already an existing idea, how can I modify it to suit me? Again, it's about being yourself. And I feel like the more you be yourself, it's the more creative you'll be, because you'll figure out what you like more, how you like things done. And you'll always be differentiated from the pack as long as you are yourself. As soon as you start trying to copy and paste, that's where you're stuck. Because at the end of the day, you're going to forever be in somebody else's shadow or the person's shadow that you're following. Whereas if you create your own space and your own stance, then you'll be perfectly fine. So I think I've stood out by just doing different things and doing what I want to do, which is what I've always been doing.
The moral of the story is to just
Be yourself.
Put personality into everything. Be yourself, right?
Change the world by being. I have it right here. It's just the facts. Like, change the world. You can't change the world by copying somebody else, because they've already changed the world in their own way. So for you to make a difference, you have to be yourself, and you have to bring your own personality to whatever it is that you're doing. Even if you're working for somebody, you never know. You could probably be the next CEO of the company. You could be a business associate of the person. Maybe because of the connections you developed with working with that person, you're able to grow your own thing. It's just like, be yourself. If you copy somebody else, you'll never grow.
Right, right. So with that being said, how have you seen using your personality to just and intertwine it into everything you do? How have you seen social media in terms of YouTube, Instagram, all forms really impacting your life as well as your audience? Well, you briefly spoke about how some of your audience members have come back to you saying, oh, you really helped me and so on. But how has it impacted your life? Positively, negatively? Just be honest.
Um, Positively, I made money from it. So I mean, the numbers give you money. Like, brands are like, oh yo, he has like 30 something thousand subscribers and whatever. So they'll link up and pay me to the like simple stuff. It has allowed me to do whatever I want whenever I want. So I have time freedom. Like, yeah, I'm good right now, and I'm still a college student, and I'm in a better position than most college students are. So I'm grateful for that. Negatively though, attention can be good or bad, right? Because obviously there are 30 something thousand subscribers, 10 something thousand followers, but not all of them are genuine followers or supporters. Some of them are haters, some of them don't want to me strive, some of them just bad mind in general. And you can see it with how people interact and with the things that they say sometimes. It doesn't really bother me all the time, but there are a few that really get to you at times, especially when you have such a big platform. If you're scrolling through the comments and really like listening and reading what they're saying and internalizing it, you'll be depressed. So, but I've learned to detach myself from it, because the personality or the person that you see online does not represent me. Because what I show people is 20, like an hour out of my life. And I've been living for like a whole week. So a week condensed into like 20 minutes to an hour is like, it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm going to be more energetic. I'm going to say more, do more within that time period for the viewers. But that's not a true representation of me as a person.
So would you say that it's like a persona, if you will, that you put on?
No, I'm myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm myself. But it's like, if I say one thing within that short space of time, it can be taken way out of context, because you may not know what I mean or may not understand, because You're not around me enough to understand how I speak. You're not around me enough to understand, say, yo, this is something I say often, and the people around me are cool with it. You may not be cool with it, but me and my people already know why pre, you see me? So it's just different. Yeah, it's just different.
So, in those instances where, or maybe you might not be as negatively affected by social media anymore, how did you cope with it?
No, I just never really met it from the jump. It's just like I was always used to negative comments from way back. So I always just detached myself from it. Because even when I was doing Snapchat stuff and things, people used to say I'm weird, like I'm a waste man. I never really make it bother me because it doesn't, that's not me. But it's just that I was just speaking from the perspective of YouTubers and people who are looking to the social media in general. Like you're going to get those negative comments and you're going to feel badly towards those things. It's just unavoidable because as you grow, if you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong. If everybody love you, something wrong. That's just how the world works. I don't know why it shouldn't be like that, but that's just how it is. So for me personally, like yes, some of them do get to me, but most of them motivate because they're like, all right, I'm doing it good. Somebody hates me, somebody disliked the video. That means I need to do more. The likes need to overpower the dislikes. The dislikes should be irrelevant. Like even when I get dislikes on my videos now, it's just people commenting like, oh yo, somebody bad mind dislike the video. Da, 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 da. So you have to use the negative things as fuel to propel you forward.
And going, yeah, moving along from the mental health aspect, let's go into how you're able to organize your time. You say you're a college student, a full-time college student. How are you able to manage college as well as manage a channel, manage a website, manage a business?
I'm laughing with my hairdresser Gia right now because she knows I don't manage my time at all. I just prioritize. That's something I need to work on, the time management thing, but I prioritize. So when I have school, like when I have exams, YouTube and business kind of get into a little phase where like I still post consistently, but it's not the same level of input because I have exams now, or like if I have a big YouTube project working on, then the business just therefore suffer a little bit. Isn't it? I'm at the stage where like I have to manage my time or have people help me with stuff because I it's a lot. You said a whole slew of things and it is a lot. Like listening to it is a lot, but it's just what you have to do, and all of those things are things that I want to do and have to do, and things that I see myself doing in the future. So if I want to be successful in all of them, if I want my degree, which I'm going to get, I'm in my final year now, if I want the 100K subscribers, which I'm going to get, if I want to make X amount of money in a month from the brand, which I'm going to do, I just have to do it. And then at the end of the day, once I reach certain goals for certain things, then I can kind of tone it down so that way everything grows, Right. The levels, yeah.
Right. So looking forward now, what are your future plans in terms of your brand, in terms of YouTube, or even just you and graduating?
I don't really like speaking too tough on these things because I feel like I could go mouth it. But for the brand, I want it to stand alone. That's the objective for that. For the brand, I want it to stand alone. That's the main objective for that. For my YouTube channel, I want to get to 100K subscribers, which I'm going to do. Almost there. I'm running up, even though I'm less than halfway. I'm almost there. Don't worry about it. And for school, I just want to graduate. Honestly, I just want to graduate, get stuck the way, have my degree, move that to the side so I can focus on what I'm doing. So that's the main. That's as much as I can give you right now. Obviously, there's a lot more to it, but that's as much as we manifest in the mind. We manifest in the soul. We don't, internal manifestation. Right.
Right. So final question now, going on into advice. What advice do you have for anyone looking into getting into YouTube?
Just do it. That's the biggest problem everybody have. is starting. Sorry, Marco. The biggest problem everybody have is just starting. A lot of people are nervous or they're scared or I don't know what the thing is that's holding you back. They feel like their phone isn't good enough, their camera isn't good enough, their content ideas aren't good enough. Just start. And once you start, you're never going to start at the top or you're never going to start at your best. It has to be a evolution. You know what I'm saying? You start off making these type of videos. If you don't like it, make something else. That's the beauty of YouTube. You can literally post whatever you want to post. My first few videos were super random. They were gaming videos, challenge videos, skits, and it's still that to this day. Like I post like mini movies, I post public interviews, challenge, like the whole 9 yards. So the platform is what you make it, and you cannot start knowing what you want. So you just have to start with whatever you're comfortable with. So just start. You know what I'm saying? Just start and get the ball rolling. If you need advice, you can DM me. I respond to some of the advice DMs because some of them are very vague. You know, some of them are very vague. But when it's a specific question like, yo, I need help with this, then I'm willing to reach out and help my people. So I'm here.
Bonus question though. Are you going to pursue music in the future? You have that one song, you know, it's an outro song.
Should I show them? No? Listen, hold on. Let me. This is an exclusive for you. You can't show nobody. I mean, whatever. But there we go. That's enough. You see me? That's enough. That's enough information. I think that's all you need to know. You know what I'm saying? I think that's all you need to know.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us, C Bus Fam. So this is who we have, Singh Zimma. Yes, in the building.
Thank you for having me, though, Abby. I appreciate it.